everyone, my name is Vishal Patel and you're watching me on my YouTube channel called English Premier League Football Updates, where I give you all the updates regarding the English Premier League, what I find interesting, anything regarding matches, anything about post-match interviews and things like that, my opinion basically on anything to do with English Premier League. As you know, the Sunday was the final day of the Premiership, and to be honest, it was not anything surprising that happened. We expected Aston Villa to stay up, and because of the team they were playing, and also that they were out of the relegation zone. And then we expected Chelsea and Manchester United to be in the top four. So it was a comfortable win for Chelsea, and at the end it was a comfortable win for Manchester United. So nothing surprising there. So it wasn't as interesting. That was what I would like to be, but there you go. English Premier League is finally over from the time when it started again from the COVID lockdown happened. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the transfers for big players that's going to be happen or could happen this summer. As you know, on the 27th, which is today, the transfer opens today, and this year's transfer market window has opened for 10 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks more than usual. So plenty of teams have a lot of time to do their business. So I'm sure they want to get done as early as possible. But they have, whenever there's a deadline, there's always going to be last minute deals and things happening. So today I'm going to be talking to you. I'm just reading this article that I've came across, and it talked about like a couple of famous big name players that could head out to other teams. So I'm just going to go over through some of them. I think in this article there's like 20 of them, but I just found few of them interesting, so I'm just going to be talking to you about a few of them. So let me just scroll to that article. Let me just quickly have a look. So the first player on this article is Aubameyang from Arsenal. So as you know, he has scored 20 goals plus in the last 2 seasons that he has been with Arsenal. He's got 11 months contract left in his contract. So I'm sure a lot of clubs, even though he's 31, he still looks a very very good striker. So he can still do business for any team in the world. I think he can walk to any team in the world. So there's a lot of clubs chasing him. He got 11 months left, so the transfer fee wouldn't be as high as if he had like more than 2 years left. So it'll be interesting. Arsenal really want to tie him down because obviously he can still do the business for them, and they all really like him. The supporters like him. So let's see if he still. Arteta seems very confident. So let's see what he thinks, what you guys think, and So I personally feel he's gonna sign a contract, but again it could depend on them in the FA Cup, because if they lose the FA Cup, then there is no chance of them playing in Europe next season. So FA Cup is the only way they can go to the Europa League, and striker like Aubameyang not playing in Europe, and he's 31, so like footballers' careers is very short, so he would like to achieve as much as possible. And to be honest, with Arsenal winning any cups or titles is going to take a long time, and very good purchase for their team, very good buys this summer for them. So I think they need to show him like a game plan, what they want to do for the next few years, where they show him that they're going to improve the team, because he wants to be around good players who can fight for the title, fight for all the trophies and stuff like that. So I think it will take time. It will be a lot to convince him to stay, but personally I feel he's going to stay. I think the club's going to do enough for them to stay. Mikel Arteta seems confident, so let's see. You never know. Second player in the list I have is Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. So he's been linked to Manchester United, and even in his last interview after the last game, he said that he's not too sure about what's going to happen this summer. So I believe he wants to leave, but because he's quite liked in the Aston Villa dressing room, and also the fans love him. So he's not gonna do anything silly like request a transfer request or something. I think he's gonna ask the club politely that I need to play for a club who's gonna fighting for the title, or at least play in the Champions League or the Europa League. So this article says that he's second most creative player in the Premiership after Kevin De Bruyne. So it says a lot. In terms of creativity, it's very hard to teach people that. It's something they have it or they're not. So yeah, so he's like created like 1/4 of a chance for Aston Villa this season, which is all the goals and creativity has come through him. Like that's quite a high percentage. So Aston Villa did rely on him, and so it'll be interesting to see if they can get like a good transfer fee for them, and obviously rebuild the team, because losing a player like that who has contributed a lot this season, it's going to be a big blow. So either they can convince him to stay and then what do you call tell him that stay, and we're going to be bringing more good players around you, and we're not going to be fighting for relegation anymore. We'll be at least aiming for like top 10 next season. So yeah, it will take quite convincing. Manchester United really like the player, and Manchester can spend big money, as you know. So not sure what's gonna happen in terms of that, but to be honest, I think he might leave this. He might leave the club. If someone approaches with a good transfer fee that Aston Villa cannot reject, and obviously his contract is gonna go up really high. So in personal terms, I think he's not gonna deny that. But it's just the clubs needs to meet up with a certain agreement that they both are happy with. So second one again, Jadon Sancho, like Manchester United keep coming up in terms of linking with this player. He currently plays in the German league. I think the club that he plays for wants like £100 million, which is in this day and age, COVID time, I think it's very difficult for most of the teams to pay that. So it only leaves out teams like Manchester United and other few like Chelsea. But I don't think Chelsea will go for him. I think they're set for someone else, which I could be talking about it later on. But for Sancho, he get 2 years left in his contract, and he has done quite well this season. He has scored about 17 goals and 16 assists, so which is not bad. So he's done really well in the German league, and so I think he wants to leave, but I think the club that he plays for wants a really big asking price. But when I read down the line, it says that because of the COVID and things like that, Manchester United might go get the player around £50 million, which I'm really surprised. I don't think he will go for £50 million. It will be some sort of 70 or 80 plus add-ons or things like that. But £50 million, I don't think so. He's gonna go for that. Next play is quickly touch on Ozil. So Ozil, he has 1 year contract left. His weekly contract is £350,000, which is a lot for a player who hasn't not been playing well recently. Arteta is not putting him in the squad. I don't even see him in the substitutes bench. And the manager before that, Emery, I forgot his name, even he had issues with Ozil. So I don't know if it's something to do with the player's mentality of either not wanting to play for Arsenal, or managers doesn't like the level of training that he's doing, and he probably prefer other players who's giving a lot for the club. So you never know what's gonna happen. I really think that this season he will leave the club, because he got 1 year contract left, and I think Arsenal just want to get rid of the wage bill that they have on him, which is £350,000 a week. So so I feel he's gonna leave this season. But obviously it's going to take a decent club for him to convince him to come out. But for him, I don't think he wants to spend another season on the bench or anything like that. So I think he should go and have a look. So another player I have on my list is Zaha from Crystal Palace. Obviously, he was linked with Chelsea in the January transfer, and somehow Palace convinced him to stay with the club and just told him that, yeah, like, can you just help us out this season, and then we'll see what happens in the summer. They've put like 80 million valuation last summer for him, and I think they probably want something similar to that. But I don't see clubs paying 80 million for Haas. Don't get me wrong, he is a good player, but then when you hear players like Kai Havertz from Leverkusen, Chelsea are linked with him for 80-90 million, and then you have Zaha. I'm not really sure if 80 million pound is what clubs gonna willing to pay. If I think it's 50 million, I think that would be a fair price, just because he plays in the Premiership, and if a Premier League club wants him, he's already used to the club. Sorry, he's already used to the Premier League. So I think 50 million should be okay, but 80 million, I think that's a bit too much. Not sure who's can I see? I'm not sure who's linked with. Last summer it was like Chelsea, Arsenal. They were linked with him, but yeah, not sure what's gonna happen this season. I really not sure what's gonna happen for that. So as I spoke to you about Kai Havertz briefly, he's a heavily linked with Chelsea, and I really feel that that's gonna go through. Yeah, it's like 99% for me. It's gonna be Chelsea who's gonna be buying this player. He's reported to be valued with the region of 70 to 90 million, which seems to be fair price. And I think Chelsea are having bought Timo Werner and Ziyech from Ajax. I think it's another good addition to the club. But as you know, that they've already got too many attacking midfielders, too many forwards. I think what they need to do is now concentrate on their defense, either improve their defense what they have. They got good talented defenders, but I think they might need to hire a new coach, or like spend more time thinking about defending and how they can actually go about doing that. Or they can buy a really world-class player who can come into the team, be a leader in the team, and get other players playing. Like for example, Liverpool, they got Van Dijk, so having him in the team makes other defenders look good. So I think they either can have like a world-class player coming in, or just improve the team over the summer, and yeah, just go to the basics, training ground. Again, Kai Havertz, I think it's going to be Chelsea who's going to be buying that player. So we got Gareth Bale, which is going to be obvious. He's been playing for Real Madrid, not playing much games, very frustrated. Him and Zidane doesn't see eye to eye, so I think he could leave the club, and I think Real Madrid wants to get rid of him again. His wages are quite high, so again he wants to get. Real Madrid would like to get rid of him in the wage bill. He was linked to China in the past last summer, and that fell through. So yeah, not sure where his next destination would be. Again, it will be a very super rich club who can afford him, because his transfer money should be okay. But I think his expectation of his wages could be an issue going to a mediocre or decent team. But yeah, so let's see what happens. His contract is running out in 2022, so which is still 2 years left, so he can still stick around and just be on getting those wages that he's getting in Real Madrid. Or if I was a player, I would really like to play my football, because as I said, football careers are very short. Let's go. There's a Lionel Messi. Not gonna talk too much about him, because even though he's very unsettled and frustrated, he always ends up staying and signing contract at Barcelona, and I don't see him playing for any other club apart from Barcelona. I could be wrong, but I think he might just stay. Another one is Harry Kane. Again, he's frustrated with Tottenham not winning titles or not challenging for the title. So again, it will be interesting to see this summer how Jose Mourinho can convince him to stay, and also if they can promise him that to buy like players around him to improve the squad. So I think he mentioned he loves Spurs. He always loves Spurs, but people have said that in the past about their club and still left. So yeah, so it's not his fault that that he wants to move. I think every player has the right to move if they want to move, and the supporters should understand, because at the end of the day, their careers are short and they want to win and challenge for the titles. And I think he's been a world-class player. I think he deserves to be at least challenging for the title and winning trophies. Another one was another player in the list was Declan Rice. I think he's heavily linked with Chelsea. He can play as a defense or defensive midfielder. I think he'll be another good player to have in the as a defense, but it's really interesting to see if he can really improve the team when it comes to Chelsea. He won't be cheap. Again, he's an English player playing in the Premiership, and I think he's quite a few years left in his contract. He started off his career at Chelsea, then he got released, and then what a story, if he comes back to Chelsea. Yeah, so it's going to be expensive for him. I think Chelsea might end up buying him, but not sure. I think it's 60% at Chelsea might end up getting him, but yeah. Another player is Ben Chilwell. Again, Chelsea and City are they have to convince Leicester to sell him. He got quite a few years in his contract with Leicester, and Leicester are saying that they do not need to sell him. So the selling power and the buying power, it's like Leicester has all the powers. They can demand the wages that they would like to, but if they overdo it, no one's gonna buy him. But at the end of the day, they don't want him to be sold. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. If Chelsea are put off by the player or valuation, I think they have other players in the market where they can get a good left back for reasonably cheap. There's one from Porto, Alex Telles. There's an Ajax left back as well, the Argentinian. I forgot his name. So yeah, there's quite a few options that they have. There's quite a few. Let me just pick. I'm gonna talk about one more player because there's quite a lot in the list which I feel. Yeah, so let me just pick one. Yeah, so there's Paul Pogba. I think after the lockdown, when the season started again, I think he looks a much different player from what he was before. I think the injury didn't help his cause as well, but now he's playing really well for the team, and rumors are that he might stay at Old Trafford for a few more years. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops in the summer. So yeah, so I think these are the players. Again, there's one list I quickly want to talk about. Traore from Wolves. I think he's been I think he has one of the best seasons with Wolves this season. I think his decision making, his dribbling, and overall contribution to the team, he's doing really well with Wolves. And I think looking at his age as well and how he goes about playing, very strong player. And it's always like this article saying there's good plan B to have, like everyone wants a plan B, and him to come on from the bench and coming in like running at the defenders, giving all this energy, strong. I think he'll be really good purchase to buy. Again, how much would it cost? There's no value, but they say what? They say value of £135 million. I don't think no one's gonna pay that for him. But yeah, so if he's linked with someone, then yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up in. I think Liverpool were, last time I checked, Liverpool are like linked with him, but they already got players like Salah, Mane. They got this other player they bought in the January transfer for 7.5 million. So they got quite a few players, but it wouldn't be would be a good plan B to have in your team. So they might end up like getting him for that reason. So yeah, so these are all the January the summer transfers I would like to talk about. There's rumors, there's possibilities that could happen or not. But leave some comments in the comment section. See what you think. What do you think will be the biggest transfer this season? What do you think? Who could end up going to what club? Any information, any opinions about the video, anything, please leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel, leave a and hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, and show me all the support that you can give me. Will be highly appreciated, and I'll be making more of these videos as a summer transfer is coming up. So I'll have a lot of contents of rumors and definite deals that happen and things like that. So yeah, support me, and then yeah, I'll keep doing it. I love football. I love English Premier League. So this is something I always wanted to do, but recently I had confidence on doing this sort of things. So yeah, give me support, and I will keep delivering content for you guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.